Welcome back to WB Mason Presents the Joe Girardi Show. It's time now for your fan questions. And don't forget, there are always 3 ways that you can reach the manager, Joe Girardi. You can send him a note on the Yes Network Facebook page, or you can send him an email, askjoe@yesnetwork.com, or tweet him at Joe Girardi Show. You know where to find him. So, Joe, we'll start with this week's questions, starting with this one from Marty in the Bronx. How do you feel about the antics of past managers like Leo DeRocher and Billy Martin when it comes to arguing calls with the umpire? They'd get tossed from the game just to fire up their team. Now everyone calmly walks out there, waits for an answer from the studio miles away.
Well, I've had a couple where I've gotten a little hot. You know, I think it's more enjoyable when you see another manager do it, and it's not, you don't feel like you're the only guy doing it in baseball. There's probably not going to be as many arguments because of replay, but there's still going to be some. I've had one really good one in Anaheim, and that's just part of the game, but that was entertainment. And people always ask me, you know, do you watch, you know, what you did? I'm like, no, I'm too embarrassed to watch what I, you know, some of my antics. So they were enjoyable. You know, Earl Weaver was obviously really good, and it seemed like they could do more things back then. I mean, Billy Martin kicked dirt on umpires all the time, and I didn't ever see him get suspended. So now if you were to do that, you'd be suspended for a while, and that's not what managers want.
And you didn't even mention the fine that would happen as well.
Yeah,
so.
Well, the fine would probably get quite expensive.
Right. Well, this guy obviously hasn't been watching every Yankees game, because you mentioned the Anaheim one. And is that the one where one of your kids called you afterwards?
No, that was the first time I ever got tossed in Tampa, and my kids were very young. They were probably about 5 and 7, and they said, "Daddy, are you ever going to be able to go back?" They thought I was out of the game forever, and I had to let them know I will be back tomorrow, and that's just part of it.
And is there any one umpire-manager argument, either growing up or when you've been in the league, that you remember that kind of sticks out?
Some of Lou Pinellas, throwing the base.
He's pretty classic.
I loved when Lloyd McClendon took the base and took it down the steps in the dugout and took it with him. That was funny, because I loved the way he stomped off the field. I loved it.
And do you think it really works? Does it fire up a team?
It can. It can. And sometimes, you know, it's important. It's important to show players that you have their back. And, you know, it costs you some money, but it's important that they know you have their back.
All right, moving on. Any details on how Masahiro Tanaka has adapted to living in the States, especially the New York lifestyle? That one coming from JeterFan26 via Twitter.
Well, I think he's adapted pretty good, because you haven't seen him in the tabloids. You know, we haven't heard he's here or he's there, and I think he's really enjoyed his experience so far. I think he loves pitching here. I think he's adapted really, really well.
That's pretty amazing when you say that, too, because he has a large media contingent that follows him every day.
I'm sure there's not many places that he goes that someone doesn't know that he's going there, so he's done a really good job.
When you walked into spring training the first day and Masahiro Tanaka was there and you saw that crowd, is that exactly what you were expecting, or a little more than what you were expecting?
No, I'd seen it with Matsui. Mm-hmm. And you walk all the way down that hall, and there's a line of Japanese reporters and photographers and cameramen snapping every picture when he's just walking down the hall. You know, I mean, that's really not that big of a deal, but it is to them, and it is to their country and how he's representing it.
And it makes me think, thank goodness that isn't me, because I don't think I'd like that type of attention. On off days, what is your favorite thing to do?
Family time. Getting a chance to have lunch with my wife, have lunch with my daughters, play some baseball with my son, or whatever it is. It's always family time, because, you know, they give up a lot, because I'm gone a lot during the season, and I make sure that I have time for them.
This one's coming from Ryan via email. Summer's here, so what's cooler to wear during a game? T-shirt underneath or no shirt?
Oh, T-shirt. You got to wear a T-shirt. The jerseys would probably be kind of scratchy. I would personally like to wear shorts myself, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
You can campaign for it, but I don't think they're going to.
Well, it worked in Chicago one year.
And you look back to the old uniforms where they were wool, you have to be happy that at least they've made some progress there.
Yes, the uniforms are very light and they're cool, and it's only on the hot day games that they're a problem.
Is there a place that you just dread playing in the summer?
To me, I always thought the two toughest places to play during the summer were Texas and Atlanta. And baseball's gotten a little bit better because they don't have the old AstroTurf. When you used to go to like St. Louis and Kansas City and Philadelphia and Cincinnati, man, it was bad on that turf. It'd be 130 degrees on that turf. But most fields are grass now, so it's much better.
And good news, no Atlanta this year,
no.
Unless you should meet in the postseason, obviously.
Texas in July.
Texas in July, so that's going to be a treat for everybody
nice.
involved.